when you just should have left your team well alone. Hello guys, hope you're having a great Monday. What is up, and welcome to FPL Today and the FPL Team Selection video for Game Week 22. In this video we go over how I did in Game Week 21 and my plans for Game Week 22, with the idea of helping you guys with your decisions and hopefully help your FPL rank. So if you have been enjoying the content on this channel and you guys have been smashing the support, the last two videos have done absolutely amazing, so thank you for that. Please do hit that like video, subscribe and hit that notification bell for FPL. And also, just an update, because there were a lot of well wishes in the comments and I really do appreciate it. It was very heartwarming to see it all. I am feeling a lot better now, so hopefully there shouldn't be any rushed content in future, although I think I did alright. I looked at the video, it didn't seem too bad, but let's get on with this video. So, just a quick backstory here. I woke up Saturday morning. I wasn't feeling 100%, but I knew I had to look at my team and make my transfers before I was going to go back to sleep and try and get over whatever it is I have. And I went back to sleep thinking I'd made the right moves. I took a -8, making 3 transfers in total, and that -8 brought in 2 players that didn't play, and also brought in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yes, I could have kept Bamford, and I could have kept Dallas, and I would have made just 1 transfer for 1 Man City defender, and I could have had a really good game week. In fact, if I'd made no moves at all, I'd have had a good game week. But let's look at the positives, and the positives are we do still have Salah, and Salah has come in with 15 points according to livefpl.net, which is a fantastic return. My only regret is I never considered him as a captain, and Salah should always be a consideration as your captain, so a bit disappointed that I overlooked him for the captaincy armband. Grealish also getting an assist. He's one that I've been patient with, and sometimes patience pays off, and he has managed to return me some points. And Cresswell getting an assist in the defeat to Liverpool means he does get 4 points. It's not a massive score, but it's points nonetheless. And of course, a regular hero for a lot of us now, Emi Martinez with 10 points. I really needed those points this game week, so much appreciated Martinez. He played really well in that game and well-deserved clean sheet yet again. But it's not all sunshines and roses, because if we look at the rest of my team, because all of my players have played, and I am recording this before the Spurs game, we had some absolute stinkers. Now, we put the captaincy armband on Gundogan because we were hopeful that he'd keep his underlying stats up. Unfortunately, he didn't really keep them up at all, and our other captaincy option that we were considering was Bruno Fernandes, who didn't really do any better. Such a shame I didn't consider Grealish or Salah. Salah, of course, would have been a massive difference to my game if I put the captaincy on him. Up front, we had some disappointing performances from Calvert-Lewin and Adams. Not happy with either, and I've literally just brought Calvert-Lewin in. Antonio didn't get anything against Liverpool, but that was to be expected, and I am happy with him in my side. But those other 2 in the front 3, a bit disappointed with and thinking of moving on. Robertson was someone I could have transferred out for a Man City defender. I didn't, hoping he'd get something in this game, and yet again I've been disappointed. And then of course we have Cancelo and my other transfer in, Stones. They came in for Robinson from Fulham and for Dallas of Leeds United. So fantastic decision making there, Johnny. Potentially maybe make your decisions Friday night instead of Saturday morning when you're feeling a bit under the weather. As far as the bench goes, nothing really to talk about. It would have been nice to get Anguissa's points for the Stones no-show, but of course you have to have a back 3, so we do miss out on Anguissa's 2 points, but not like that would have made a massive difference, and there was no other points to talk about on the bench. So, according to livefpl.net, where you can go and check your live rank whenever you want during the game week, we have ended on 50 points -8 down to 42, which is the same as the average, which isn't fantastic. But it is a game week where a lot of people have had a bad game week. We've only dropped 70k, which could have been a lot worse without Mohamed Salah showing up. We're now on 1,245 points, with a rank of around 350,000. We seem to be treading water a bit now. We rose up to around the 200k mark, and ever since then, we've not really seen any good rises in rank. Hopefully that will change in Game Week 22. So we move on to the players at risk, and right now the player at risk is Che Adams, and to be honest, he should have been the person I took out of my side for DCL. Not that DCL is a great transfer in, Wilson would have been a lot better, but Adams should have left for whatever transfer in the front line I made, because Bamford has had 3 game weeks without a return and Adams has had 7. Now, I know why I've done it is because I've watched Leeds games and Bamford has disappointed me in them, and it's that basis of the player you're watching when he doesn't return for you, it is really obvious. Whereas I haven't really been watching the Southampton games, so Adams has kind of gone under the radar as someone that hasn't been returning for me, while Bamford has been the focal point. So I made the wrong decision there. Maybe I would have made the right decision had I made the decision in better circumstances, but we have to move on. And also Southampton haven't seemed on it as much as they were previously in the season, and compared to other sides, so potentially Adams is the player that needs to go. So before we move on to our Gameweek 22 team selection, if you want access to all the stats that we use here on FPL Today, do check out Fantasy Football Hub. All the data on FPL Today is taken from the Fantasy Football Hub, with tools such as player comparison to choose the best players out of 2 options, Opta stats tables to see who could be hitting form soon and who will be amongst the goals, and a fixture ticker so you know who has not just the form but also the fixtures to match, and so much more, like articles and coverage of other fantasy football games. Ask yourself why you haven't joined the Fantasy Football Hub. It's just £2 a month to unlock your FPL potential. Massive thank you to Fantasy Football Hub for partnering with FPL Today. If you do want access, like I said, to Opta stats and fixture tickers as well as articles, do check out their website, top link in the description, and it does help support this channel. So we now move on to my Gameweek 22 team selection, and the likelihood is I'm not going to make any transfers this game week, because sometimes when you have a bad game week, it's easy to go into your side and start ripping it apart. But I often find for me it's best to just do nothing and wait until the dust settles and my mind is a little clearer. But we do still have a potential transfer section for this video, but let's get on to the team. And we have Martinez still in goal with West Ham at home, with Cresswell in the reverse of that fixture with Aston Villa away. Now, ideally, I wouldn't have 4 players in one game, but overall, West Ham and Aston Villa have impressed me, so I'm happy to have those 2 in my side. Robertson with Brighton Hove Albion at home. He is also a player at risk. However, Liverpool look like they're starting to score goals. It's just whether they're going to keep clean sheets. And I need to know if Robertson is going to be involved in those goals if the clean sheets aren't to come. And then we have Stones and Cancelo with Burnley away. Now, hopefully, Man City will have a similar performance against Burnley as they had previously in the season, and Stones and Cancelo will be reinstated into that first 11. If one of them is dropped again, then they're likely to be transferred out the game week after. But we've weathered the storm of Game Week 21 with them both being benched, so hopefully in Game Week 22 they'll both return big points for me, and I'll be smiling the next time I have to record a video. Moving on to the midfield, and we have Gundogan with Burnley away as well. We have Fernandes with Southampton at home in the vice-captaincy armband. Fernandes has been disappointing recently as far as FPL points return, and Man United have seen a dip in form recently, but Bruno Fernandes has been such a good player for so long, I'm willing to give him a little bit more time. Grealish with West Ham at home, again, same fixture as we talked about earlier, but Grealish has been returning regularly. Even if there's like 2-3 week periods where he doesn't, he always looks dangerous, and I just wish I'd thought the same about Bamford. And then Salah, likely to get the captaincy armband. I put this captaincy armband on him before the game against West Ham, and now that he's returned 2 goals, I feel a lot more confident keeping it on him. Hopefully we can see another big return from Mohamed Salah. And then up front, we only have 2 up front with Antonio against Aston Villa away and Calvert-Lewin with Leeds away. Now, Leeds seem like a side that are more likely to turn up against the big sides with their performance against Leicester to show that recently. So, a bit worried that I've got Calvert-Lewin instead of Bamford here, but I've only just brought him in. I don't want to automatically transfer him out and then watch him get a big points returns. Calvert-Lewin will probably stay. And then on the bench, we have Anguissa against Leicester, Taylor against Man United, and we also have Che Adams against Manchester United away. Now, Che Adams is a person that could be transferred out this game week. I think that's the most likely player, and hence why he was the player at risk. However, we're not really going to look at the players I could bring in for him, although Callum Wilson and Bamford are probably the 2 most likely. But we're going to look at the Leeds players and see if I should have dropped them in the potential transfers part of this video. So, potential transfers, and we start off with Bamford, who could come in for Che Adams at 6.6 million. Now, Bamford has returned quite well in the game just gone, so of course, I'm now going to be looking at him thinking, why did I get rid of him? However, if we look over the last 6 game weeks, we can see that he's had 1 goal and 4 assists with 14 shots on goal, 5 on target, 11 from inside the box, and 3 big chances, with expected goals at 1.78, so he hasn't been expected to score a lot more than he has. However, he's also got 4 assists with an expected assist of 1.98. Now, do I think he can keep that up? With 5 key passes and 4 big chances created, there's the potential he could. The main thing, though, is those stats and players like Wilson's stats are much better than Che Adams when I look at them amongst the potential forwards in the FPL. So Bamford could come back into the side, and I think potentially the fact that fixtures aren't necessarily the greatest for Leeds isn't necessarily a bad thing with the way Leeds plays. So Bamford is a potential transfer in. We're also going to have a look at Dallas. Dallas at 4.8 million. The main reason I brought him in when I did was because of his goal threat. Now, he has got 1 goal and 1 assist, and expected goals of 0.49 and expected assists of 0.19. 3 key passes. He's had 3 shots on goal, 1 on target, 2 inside the box, and 1 big chance in the last 6 game weeks. Dallas could come back in, but I think I need to stop looking at Dallas as a starting defender and more of a bench defender. He could take the place of potentially Taylor and be a bench player that can easily come in when I need him to. If he'd been on the bench this game week, I'd have been laughing. And that is it for this video. So if you have enjoyed the video, please again do everything that you have been doing to support the channel, which has been amazing, the support. And that's hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe, and hitting that bell for FPL. Also, check out Fantasy Football Hub, top link in the description down below. And also, let me know if you had a terrible game week in Game Week 21, or if it was a very good one. I'd like to hear some positive stories if there are any out there. With all that being said, I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.